Hello, beautiful people, and today we are going to be reviewing the Ghostface Returns collection. So, let's go ahead and dive on into this video. So I kind of chuckled to myself when I saw that Glamlite was bringing this collection back, because when they initially released the original Ghostface palette, everyone was like, "Where's the red?" And everyone kept hounding Glamlite. And there was definitely an air of disappointment in the makeup community when it came to the original palette. And Glamlite, after a while, was finally like, they got the point. I will go through what this collection includes, what's new, what's old, what you can't purchase anymore, and I will also compare both of the palettes. So I'm just going to dive into what's sitting in front of me first. So the first thing is going to be the Ghostface Black Cherry Duo. The only difference between this one and the previous one is that the lip mask right here was just in like the little tub like this is. This is going to be black cherry flavored and scented. I do really like this. The lip mask is very comfortable to wear, so I'll definitely be keeping this. And if I remember correctly, I do believe the scrub is cherry flavored as well as scented. It is kind of on the larger end of the scrubs, so it does have like the larger sugar particles in it. So I did purchase the entire collection without the PR box, and the full collection without the box does retail for $110, or if you wanted the big Ghostface PR cardboard box, it does retail for $125. So here's what the inside of this looks like. It does come sealed, and then when you take this off, it definitely smells like black cherry. There's what it looks like. I really do like Glamlite's lip scrubs. They're usually I think that they have like oils in them, so they're a little bit more hydrating and not just gonna rip your skin off. And then this is going to be the lip mask. Again, I do really like Glamlite's lip mask. The only difference between this and the previous one was that the mask came in a tub. So, yep, and this is like a kind of like a purplish kind of tint. I might go ahead and apply some of this because my lips are a bit dry. And this, at least to me, does have a very slight kind of like cherry vanilla type of taste. I know some people didn't like this because it kind of reminded them of the cherry medicine that our mothers would shove down our throats when we were sick as children, but personally it doesn't bother me. And then next is going to be the Ghostface mirror. So I already actually have the mirror, so I didn't open it, but this is what it looks like right here. It is a pretty decent size. The bottom handle right here kind of mimics like a knife handle. The mirror on its own does retail for $26. And then the next thing is going to be their lip kit. So this is what it looks like. It just slides out like so. I won't swatch either of these because I do have the original and they are the exact same shades. So here is the lip liner, the old lip liner versus the new one. And then this is going to be the old lipstick versus the new one. So the components have just changed, but the shades, to my understanding, are the same. So I will pass both of these along, but I did keep the lip gloss that came with it. And this is new in the kit. This is a diamond lip gloss. Does not have a scent. That's really pretty. It's kind of like a grayish purple, and then it does have some blue shimmer in it. And then this is what it looks like in the component. Be interested in trying that out. I usually like Glamlite's lip gloss formula. And the lip kit on its own retails for $22. And then something new that they added in this particular collection that was not included in the previous one is their Ghost Blood lip oil. So here's what this oil looks like. Comes with kind of like a bent doe foot applicator. Also doesn't have a scent. I wouldn't necessarily say that this looks like a bloody lip oil. I think the Nightmare on Elm Street one kind of looked more like a bloody lip oil. This definitely has like a kind of plummy cherry type of tint to it, but that on its own does retail for $12. So the lip liner is going to be kind of like a brown, and then the lipstick is going to be very similar to like the Michael Myers one where it's kind of like this nudie, very light brown concealer lip type of color, at least on someone of my skin tone. They also introduced the Ghostface sponge. Now I probably will never actually use this in fear of destroying it, but it does have Ghostface right here on the front, and Glamlite sponges usually are really soft, so I do like their sponges. And the sponge on its own does retail for $7. Now, something they brought back by popular demand that was not included in the full bundle but can be purchased separately is going to be their Ghostface blush. So it does have the lenticular motion here on the front, and then when you open it up, it is going to be like this very bright kind of pinky red color. This blush is unbelievably pigmented, so if you do have this blush or you're considering purchasing it, you do need to go in with a light hand. Now, something else that I do have from the previous collection that they did not bring back, at least that I didn't see that they brought back, was the Icon of Halloween highlighter duo. Here's what it looks like, and then it does have Scream's imprint up on the top and his knife down on the bottom. You were also able to purchase the lenticular bag separately. This is the one that I bought previously, but it does have the lenticular motion here on the front. I really like Glamlite's bags. They usually, like I mentioned last time, have a pretty good amount of space in them. And then the bag on its own retails for $40. And now regarding the palettes. So the palette on its own retails for $32. And I will show you a comparison between this one and the original. So here is what the cover looks like. Again, that really cool lenticular motion. And this is the box that it comes in, so kind of like the old school 90s TV screens. Then when we open it up, now to me this does say Ghostface a little more than the last one because it does include the reds. Here's the color story right here. I will definitely be playing with this row of shades right here today. I am going to do 2 looks, but I think that this color story, in my opinion, kind of embodies it a little bit more than the previous palette simply because it does have the reds in here. I think that if they combined both of these into one singular palette, I think this would have been like the perfect Ghostface palette. And then this is the original palette, different lenticular motion on the front, and this is the color story. So we have more of the gray, muted type of tones. I can see Ghostface in this, but this to me kind of reminds me more of Michael Myers than it does Scream. So I was happy to see that they listened to their fan base and came out with a palette that included the red. So here is a comparison of both of them together. A couple shades that are a little bit similar between the two, but they are very different palettes. So I'm happy to see that they didn't just include a row of red and call it good. They actually revamped the color story. So I will go ahead and zoom you guys on in and we'll start creating 2 looks using the Ghostface Returns palette. I'm actually going to go ahead and apply some of this lip oil on top just to see how it feels. Again, there's no scent. Definitely a thicker, richer formula than the lip mask, but both of them are comfortable. And this did give a little bit more of that kind of plummy cherry tint, and it is very comfortable on the lips. Delve into the chilling essence of horror and unleash your inner Ghostface. Dare to go off script and create your own spine-chilling narrative with the Ghostface Lives 15 color palette. From creamy mattes that blend like whispered secrets in the dark to duochrome shimmers that glisten like the sharpest blade, this red, smoky palette is guaranteed to etch an unforgettable tribute to the iconic mask that continues to enthrall audiences worldwide. All right, so like I said, I am going to be doing 2 looks today. I know I definitely want to play with the red, but I'll also probably play with like the browns and the kind of grayish blues that are in here as well. So I'll probably start with like the browns and whatnot. So the first shade that I'm going to go in with is going to be the shade right here. And this is called Radio Silent, and I'm just going to put that in my crease. I love, but I hate when palettes have imprints in the pans because I'm just like, oh, I don't want to ruin them, and I always feel like I'm going to. So did any of you guys pick up this palette, or did you have the original palette? If so, what do you guys think of this color story as compared to the original one? Let me know. Hello, pigment. That was just one dip in there. That is a very pigmented brown, and it does look just a little bit darker on the eye than it does in the pan. But guys, I'm literally just like tapping it in there, and this shade has a bunch of pigment. The next shade that I'm going to go in with, that's a cute name, is this one right here, and this is called Scary Movies and Chill. And I'm just going to use that shade to blend that one out. I personally was really happy to see that they brought this palette to fruition because I know so many people were so disappointed that this previous palette did not have a single red shade in it. And I believe Giselle, who's the owner, had said that she had wanted to reserve the reds for like the Nightmare on Elm Street palettes, but people were like, no! And then to blend that out just a little bit more so that we can use as many shades in the palette as possible, I'm going to go in with the white shade right here, and this is called Flesh. I like when palettes include a white because I think that it makes it a lot easier to blend some shadows, especially if there aren't any good transition shades, which this palette does have a couple of them. All right. Honestly, the 2 shades down here at the bottom These ones are so close in tone that I really think only one of them was actually necessary. So Spooked right here looks like it's going to be your actual typical black. And then this one right here called Slasher is going to be more of like a bluish, very deep, almost black gray color. I don't think that they needed both of them, but that's just me. I think one would have sufficed. I think I'm going to go in with Spooked, which is the black shade on my outer corner, just a smidgen to kind of deepen up the outer portion. And good lord, that is a lot of kick up in the pan. Okay, and as with all of Glamlite's blacks, this is very pigmented. Just a little bit of fallout on the face. Nothing too terrible. All right, I'm gonna go back in with the 2 brown shades that I used to blend this out, and I'll be right back. Probably went a little too overboard with the black, because then that ended up turning my crease more into a black than a brown, but oops. All right, well, we're just gonna have to accept that this is gonna be a very dark and smoky look. So I'm going to add some NYX glitter primer to the rest of my lid, and we'll dive into a few of these shimmers. As I've said in some of my past Glamlite videos, you don't really need to use primer with theirs. It's just I do have such hooded eyes that it just makes my shadows last a little bit longer if I do. So I think the first shade that I'm going to go in with is this gray one right up here at the top. And this is called Ghost Gray, and I'm just going to set that right next to the black. Those shimmers are incredibly soft, and I will add some of the black back in when I'm done. That is a beautiful, beautiful silver. Like dark, smoky gray silver. That's absolutely beautiful. All right, and then next to that, I'm going to go into this really beautiful kind of duochrome shade down here, and this is called Final Girl. Ooh, that's really pretty. And then next to that shade, I'm going to go in with this kind of golden silver color right here, and this is called Haunted. And I'm just going to lay that in the inner portion. Well, I think that is just absolutely gorgeous. So I think for the brow bone, and I'm going to do this probably on both eyes, I'm going to go into this kind of bluish white up here, and this is called Ghostface. I'll probably also use this as an inner corner highlight as well when I'm done. All right, I'm also going to add a little bit of that black back to the outer corner. All right, now we're going to move into the next eye, and we're going to dive into these beautiful reds. So the very first shade that I'm going to go in with is obviously the red, and that's going to be this shade right here, and this is called Ghostface Returns. I think I'm going to do my typical thing where I'm going to do the outer portion right here is going to be the red, and then on the inner portion I'll do like the gray. Very minimal kick up in the pan on this particular shade. Beautiful. All right, we'll blend that out in just a moment. So next I'm going to go in to the gray shade right down here at the bottom, and this is called Black Robe. I feel like maybe they should have made the black shade called Black Robe. All right, so this gray shade is going to take some building up, but it's coming along. It does look like the shade in the pan once you get it built up. I really like those two colors together. I love that gray shade. All right, I'm going to go back into that white shade called Flesh, and I'm going to blend both of those shades out. All right, those shades blended out really nicely. So now I'm going to go in with the dark red in this palette and put that on the outer corner. So that's going to be this shade right here, and this is called Chilled Night. I love these deep, like, kind of wine burgundy type of colors. All right, that shade laid down really nicely. Love that color combination. So I'm going to blend that shade out, put on some glitter primer, and I'll be right back. Okay, so the first shimmer that I'm going to go in with is this one right here, and this is called Dawn. I'm just going to lay that right next to that last matte shade. It's a really pretty shade. 100% put that all over the lid and call it a day. All right, then the next shade that I'm going to go in with, I think this might be my favorite shade in the palette, is this one right here, and this is called Bloody, and I'm going to lay that right next to that shade. Absolutely love the way that looks. And then finally, the very last shade that I'm going to go in with is this shade right here, and this is called Corn Syrup. I really do love this movie. I'm really only a fan of the first and second one, though. I'm not really a fan of the ones afterwards. I don't know why. It was just ones that I could never really get into. I really wish that they had brought back like Matthew Lillard in some capacity. I absolutely love Matthew Lillard. I think that's really pretty. Okay, So I'm going to go ahead and use that same white Ghostface shade up on my brow bone. I'm going to finish off the rest of my makeup and I'll be right back. Alright you guys, I'm back. I did most of the rest of my makeup and I just realized that I made a mistake at the beginning of this video. The lip liner that I showed earlier was not the correct lip liner. I forgot Glamlite, I think last time did like 1 or 2 different lip kits. This is the correct shade of the lip liner, so it's kind of like a grayish brown type of black color. So that was my mistake. I'm going to add my mascara and I'm just going to run a black in the lower waterline. Alrighty, now we're going to go ahead and dive on into the blush as well as the highlighter. I do really wish that they had brought back the highlighter because I thought it was one of their nicer highlighters. So again, this is the shade of the blush. It is very, very pigmented. This would look absolutely stunning on somebody with a deeper skin tone. So there's the swatch of it right there. I'm going to go in very, very lightly because she got a lot of pigment. That's just one tap right there. I didn't overdo it. I did wipe a little bit off on my hand because I really did not want just a dab of blush on my cheek. Lighten that up just a little bit with a fluffy blending brush. If you guys ever go in too heavy-handed, you can just take like a fluffy powder brush with either some setting powder or nothing on it and kind of diffuse some of that out just a little bit. But like I said, this blush would look absolutely stunning on somebody with a deeper skin tone. I think this is an absolutely beautiful color, but it is very, very pigmented, so I do have to be careful because I'm so fair skin toned. The color diffuses out really nicely with like a big fluffy brush if you do go in too heavy-handed. I've never had a problem with it being patchy, splotchy, or not wanting to blend. And so now I'm going to go in with the highlighter palette. So I think on this side I'm going to go in with kind of more of the white shade, and on the other I'm going to go in with kind of more of this golden shade. Be just beautiful. Such a beautiful color. Absolutely love that. Both shades in this palette are really, really nice. I'd say for the most part, most of Glamlite's highlighters, this one's no exception. It's a really smooth formula. At least on me, it doesn't emphasize my texture. It builds really nicely. Doesn't look crappy on top of other products, so I really do like their highlighter formulas. So let me take off this lip oil real quick and we'll start diving on into the lip kit. So I'm going to go into the correct lip liner. Again, this is kind of like a grayish brown type of color. I think that this is personally one of the more unflattering lip combos. Very kind of like 90s biker chick, but that's just my opinion. All right, now I kind of remember my thoughts on this lip liner. So aside from the color, the formula is really creamy, but I don't think you'll really be able to tell on camera, but as this is gliding along the lips, you'll have like little areas of splotchiness kind of throughout the liner. Now granted, the lipstick does cover it, but I do remember this being splotchy the last time that I used it, and if the formula is still the same, it is splotchy, at least on me. Now we'll go in with the lipstick. There's the swatch of it right there. I think this looks very, very similar to the Halloween lipstick. I think it's just a little bit lighter and the tone is just ever so slightly different. Me personally, this ain't cute, but I'm gonna take a brush real quick and I'm gonna kind of soften the area between the liner and the lipstick, and I'll be right back and we'll try out the gloss. So now I'm going to go into the lip gloss. I really do like the color of this. And usually I really like Glamlite's lip gloss formula. Ooh, that's really pretty. Very comfortable, very moisturizing, feels very light. Up close, after you've applied it and kind of like rubbed your lips together, the shimmer in it kind of dissipates. But then you're left with like a really beautiful shine. Like this is a gorgeous shine. I think it's absolutely beautiful. I do think that color really does complement the lipstick. Still not exactly my favorite combo. I think that I'm a little too pinky, fair tone. Like I have a pink undertone and I'm more on the fair to light side. So not the most flattering lip combo in my opinion, but I do think that this could serve its time and place with the correct eye look. Like I think this looks a little bit better than this. So I'm going to finish off the lower lash line. So I think all I'm going to do is take Ghostface Returns on the red eye, and then I'm going to take this shade up here called Scary Movies and Chill, and I'm just going to run that under the other eye. Right, then for the inner corner, I think all that I'm going to do is just go back into the highlighter and use the same highlighters that I used on the either cheek and use that for the inner corner. All right, you guys, and this is the final look using the new Ghostface Returns palette. I'd have to say overall, I really love how both of these looks turned out. The red obviously has my heart and soul, but I think that this eye is absolutely stunning. Those silver shades are just perfection. They're beautiful. So I'm going to go ahead and zoom you guys on out and I'll give you guys my final thoughts and opinions on this collection. So honestly, overall, I think Glamlite nailed this collection. I absolutely love the color story of this palette. 100%. I think this is the palette that they should have given us in the first place, but I do really love the other palette. I do dip into that from time to time because I really, again, I love like the cool tone, kind of gray, blue type of colors, but I absolutely love the reds in here like this. These four shadows right here speak to me. And I'm very, very happy with how this look turned out. And I really do love this one as well. Same really great Glamlite quality. Again, there is a ton of kick up in the pan with these shades. I'd say for the last 2-3 years, Glamlite's shadows seem like they're a little more softly pressed in the pan. So there is going to be a little bit more fallout, but just blow it away. I didn't really experience a lot of fallout on the face, just with a couple of shades, primarily like the darker shades. Again, you don't need to lay down glitter primer for Glamlite shadows if you don't want to. I just do it because I do have hooded eyes. 10 out of 10 for the palette. Absolutely love this. Love the color story. And I'll just talk about what was given to us in this specific collection. And then in terms of the lip kit, so again, I did not open the one that actually came in the box just because I already do have the lip kit from the last time. Now for the lip liner and the lipstick combo, again, the shade, little bit on the wonky side, I'm not gonna lie. Gray paired with like a very concealer lip type of brown color. Not exactly my favorite combination, but I will say that with this particular lip gloss on top of it, I really do like the color change that it gave. This lip gloss is unbelievably comfortable. It does not feel sticky at all. It feels like it feels almost like a thinner lip oil, but it's not sticky. It's not gritty, and the shimmer in here kind of disappears after you kind of rub your lips together. The three together, I do like, not so much with the red eye look, but I do like it with this eye look. So kind of 50-50 on the lip kit. Wouldn't necessarily wear this on a day-to-day basis just because I feel, because I'm so pale, this kind of gray undertone makes me look a little ashy. But the formula is really nice on all three of these. However, like I said, the lip liner, in my opinion, is a little bit on the patchy side, but it does blend out really well. And once you lay the lipstick on top of it, you really can't tell. Now, I didn't use the sponge, but in speaking on their sponges in general, they do have really nice sponges. They are very soft. I'm a collector of things horror, so I don't really want to ruin this. So I'm going to put this up on display with some of my other things. But again, if you do use their sponges, they are very soft, and I've gotten quite a few uses out of the ones that I've used in the past. And then for the mirror, this for some may definitely be like an unnecessary purchase, but it is a pretty decent size. Even when you hold it in front of you, there's not really like a wonky shape to the mirror. You can clearly see your entire face. A little bit pricey for what it is, almost $30 for a mirror, but again, this may be an unnecessary purchase that you don't necessarily need. But Glamlite's mirrors do have a pretty nice weight to them, and I do love the shape of the handle. And then in terms of the lip oil, now I wouldn't necessarily say that I would consider this a bloody lip oil. I think that this should have been a more red instead of kind of purple shade, and I would have kind of maybe made it darker if I was the one who had been curating this. But it is very comfortable. It's not sticky. It definitely has like a rich kind of oil type of formula, very hydrating. My lips felt very comfortable after taking it off. In combination with the lip mask, again, like I said earlier, the only difference between both of these and the previous collection was that the lip mask came in like one of the little tubs like this. I do really like Glamlite's lip scrubs. They are comfortable. They are a little bit on the chunkier side when it comes to the sugar particles in it, but it's not gonna like rip the skin on your lips off. It is a pretty decent, like gentle exfoliation, and this does taste like cherry, at least to me it does. And then same thing with the lip mask, has kind of like a very faint kind of vanilla cherry type of flavor to it. I personally like it, even though I was part of the generation that had the cherry medicine shoved down my throat when I was sick, just ugh. But this to me doesn't taste the same as that. But I personally love like cherry and black cherry flavored things. I love their lip masks. They're unbelievably comfortable, whether they come in this form or in the little tubs. So I'm very happy to have this, and I'm very happy that I picked up the collection. And then if you guys do end up picking up the blush separately because it's not included in the full collection, just be aware, unbelievably pigmented blush. On deeper skin tones, I don't think you'll have too much of a problem. This would look absolutely gorgeous on somebody with a deeper skin tone. But lighter paled people, go in lightly. You might have to tap some of it off on the component or kind of dab some of it off on the back of your hand if you don't want just a big patch of color right here on your face. But I do really love this blush and I love the color and it blends out really nicely. And then again, if you wanted to, you were able to pick up the bag separately because it did not come with the collection. I really do love this bag. This one and the Halloween bag have been my favorites. Very large bag. It comes with a lot of space, and then it has Ghostface here on the strap and the little knives here on the side. And then I really love the little zipper trinkets here on the bottom. They're supposed to be like his knife. I believe I went over everything in this collection. Overall, definitely getting 2 thumbs up for me. I'm very, very happy to be adding this to my very large Glamlite collection. I really do think that both palettes together are very complementary, but if you don't have one, I definitely think, in my personal opinion, that this palette is more reminiscent of Ghostface when it comes to the color story. Let me know down below in the comments what you guys thought of this collection. Are you picking it up? Do you plan on picking it up? Are you only going to be picking up little bits and pieces from this? What do you guys think of the color story in this particular palette as compared to the other one? Let me know your thoughts. But thank you guys for watching another one of my videos today. I hope you guys will consider subscribing to my channel. I do tend to upload pretty frequently throughout the week, and I'll catch you guys in my next video. Bye guys!